Stardust is honestly one of the most retarded content creators I know, man. This is a hit piece. This is a hit piece against Kingston. So slimy. It's unreal. Oh my god. It is unreal. She's so shameless. This is fucking insane. The gigacope is out of control. Honestly, look, the moral fucking over this is insane, man. Okay, can we cut the bullshit, right? There's literally nothing wrong with talking about salacious drama. If you don't like it, guess what? You don't have to fucking watch it. You literally don't have to fucking watch me, okay? It's literally that simple. Just turn off the stream, okay? There's loads of stuff where there's content you're not going to like, right? If you don't like Jerry Springer, turn off the TV set, okay? Honestly, I'm sick of it. People are so frustrated. Just stop watching them. Fuck off. Go away. Oh, Chud, I'm going to sit here and wag my... I don't care. Literally don't care, okay? This is the content I'm doing. I've been doing this kind of content for a long time now, okay? If you don't like it, unsubscribe and fuck off, okay? Simple. Easy. Easy fucking peasy, all right? The ball cannot be fucking stopped. Imagine claiming you wanted to protect the... Because she lied about what the type of coverage you should be doing. Okay, what's this? Damn, there's so many messages I'm not seeing here. If you wanted that out there, why did you ask her not to mention it? Because she lied about what type of coverage she was doing. My whole focus was on protecting Carissa because I didn't know Star was coordinating a hit piece with Carissa. You think it makes sense to have Hunter on without messaging me so I could challenge his lies? Imagine claiming you wanted to protect the woman whose life you set out to ruin by spreading her barely censored nudes and outing the work she was doing. You knew what the repercussions would be for her. Don't act like you ever gave a shit. God, Stardust is so dishonest. She was trying to act like she was doing an unbiased, like, you know, hey, we got a raid, thank you. An unbiased piece covering everyone's side of it. But now she's making it pretty clear that what her perspective on it was. And it was clearly very biased coverage that she was doing. Wait, did I cheat on Hunter? Or wait, was that me trying to be pissed on for money? God, this guy is unstoppable. Jesus.
What do you guys know about the Avallone drama? Pretty much all we see right now is people calling Hunter a cuck, right? So, let's get into it, okay? I present to you. I present to you the trysts of Avallone, okay? The trysts of Avallone. Right, let's get started. The summary so far. Recently, Hunter and Carissa Avallone announced that they were divorcing. About a week and a half later, a gentleman named Kingston Hawk uploaded a video titled, "The Real Reason Hunter Avallone and Carissa Are Divorcing, from the Side Dude's Perspective." Hunter Avallone posted this tweet on June 7th. Says, Carissa and I have both decided to amicably end our marriage. We're still close friends with no hate in our hearts towards each other, and we share a vested interest in raising our children together in a safe environment. Thank you for respecting our privacy. So that was the divorce announcement. Hunter had already been debating a lot of red pill at this point. So after this announcement, Red Pillars tried to claim it was because Hunter was emotional that they had this divorce. He even had a debate about it. Listen to this fucking retard.
Hunter, you need to really chill. I can tell you're probably on your period or something, but just let me get a word in, okay? So pretty much women will say they want a man to cry in front of them because they think it's what men want to hear. So, and they may genuinely believe that they want a man to cry in front of them. But once they genuinely experience it and realize...
You know what? I take back what I said the other day about somebody being a water-brained R-word. This guy on the call... this guy on the call is a water-brained R-word.
Wow, some great unbiased coverage so far, but nonetheless, I've spoken to all sides. I'm going to present it. She's calling the guy like how is anyone looking at this and not just like laughing at how absurd it is that Hunter's debating his divorce, man?
In the fuck is going on with this man's voice? Fuck, trust me, dude. I don't know.
guys that it's
It's quite like I'm getting. I bet you. This already is seeming like a fucking Hunter gun guard. Okay, already this is seeming more like I'm gonna defend Hunter than anything else. But oh, listen, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she is gonna, be a bit more critical or like something. We'll see.
not very it's kind
Red
of
pill Kermit.
disgusting and very very weak of them. It oftentimes results in them leaving.
But anyways, you guys know about all that.
Hunter, you need to really chill. I can tell you're probably on your period or something, but just
So on about a week and a half later, on June 15th, a gentleman named Kingston Hawk uploaded a video to YouTube titled "The Real Reason Hunter Avallone and Carissa Are Divorcing from the Side Dude's Perspective." Hi Bergie. And basically, his justification for uploading this video is that he heard Hunter and others were talking about him. And this is the description of the video. I promise I'm going back to trying to avoid drama, but I can't lie, I'm triggered, y'all. When you are told that people are talking bad about you, and one of those people has a sizable platform, it's hard not to feel the need to defend yourself. So this is that.
There's this.
Also,
yeah.
hopefully, it's the only time I have to address the topic.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like I say, this guy deserves criticism for leaking as much as he did, releasing the video, not blowing the images. But, it could be that it was being irrational. It could be that it was irrational. But, like, clearly there was something. It would be nice to see the receipts, but clearly there was something happening that suggested at least there was, he had some insight that maybe something was going to drop and he was getting ahead of it, right? Rightly or wrongly for release. I mean, I think wrongly to release as much as he did at least. But, I think if he'd have done a video which was perhaps a bit more discreet, why did he leak at all? It says it right there. He's saying right there why he leaked it. What do you mean? Like, that's his reasoning. You could argue that it's wrong. Maybe there wasn't this kind of thing that he should have been concerned about. Thank you for hitting level 5. Appreciate it. How easy was that? No, it's not because she ghosted him. That is total bullshit, Cope. Like, that is not true at all. I do not think it's that, he got mad because she ghosted him. I think he was probably concerned that there was something that was going to drop against him, but it could be that he was wrong about that.
I've got better ways to spend my time. And in this video, it's like, basically in this video, Kingston reveals private messages between him and Carissa, as well as pictures she sent to him. Thank you for the gifted sub, Lacelip. The original video had very little blurring. So a lot of streamers, by the time they caught on to this, Kingston had uploaded like edits or something to the video where the entire images were blurred. But if you see the original video, it is very only tiny portions, the tiniest portions of these pictures were blurred. And
wait, is that true? I saw it when it had 200 videos and it was blurred, but it was blurred badly. If you wanted to redo the blurring, you can't. You need to re-upload a new video on YouTube. You can't unless I'm missing something. I don't think that's true at all, is it?
Honestly, guys, based on the laws of Texas for revenge porn, with how little was censored in those pictures, you could see everything. I think actually it may be revenge porn. It may be revenge porn. And that's what I would have to say. A lot of people haven't seen.
Okay, but where's this narrative coming from that there was a first video? But I saw a video that when it had 200 views. Was the one before that? Because if there was one before that, I can't imagine anyone would have seen that. Yeah, I mean, it could be legally it's revenge porn. I think that, like, on an ethical or moral level, well, I don't want to put it like that, right? Listen, I don't think. Okay, well, maybe there was. I don't know. I've not seen any evidence that there were 2 videos. But if there was, then, I'll happily look at that and confirm it, right? But yeah, sure, maybe there's 2 videos. Anyway, what I was trying to say, is the revenge porn thing, I think that it might be that it is legally revenge porn, but when Kingston released it, I don't think he released it with the intent to like do it with like the nudes being like, oh, I'm gonna leak the nudes to shit on Carissa. His intent was to try and clear his name of what he felt were unfair allegations that were floating around about him allegedly privately. So legally it might still be revenge porn, but I don't think that he released it to just show nude images of Carissa. He did it to try and clear his name. But obviously, one of the big key narratives that like Carissa Hunter's side is pulling on is this idea that he's released revenge porn to make him look bad, you know?
Seen the original video. They've only seen like the blurred, but I'm telling you, like it's
Okay, Spoonie, you're fucking retarded. You're probably some retard. Listen, it's not defending someone to, you know, say, I think a claim about this guy is unfounded or unfair, or there's a bit more context to it. Okay? How the fuck am I defending Kingston? Like, what do you mean defending Kingston? I've called Kingston the stuff that he is, but I don't think it's fair to call him stuff that he isn't. Is that fucking defending him now? Like, what the fuck?
bad. It's bad. It's so bad. The original video is so bad. The damage has been done. So, Kingston's video. Kingston says that basically he and Hunter had a debate. And after that debate, Carissa and him started talking on Twitter. Carissa seemed interested in Kingston after he mentioned he'd been working in the adult industry for 15 years.
I'm not going to get one guy by retards, okay? I need to crack on.
Dude looks like the love child of Urkel and Carl. Good God.
Dead air? Dead air? Hello? What?
Well, the video's been taken down now, but it's still, you know, it's out there. It's on the internet. Okay. So, sorry, I got distracted. So what
By the way, I think it's probably worth pointing out that Stardust not only broadcast Kingston's video, right? So I'm fairly certain that Stardust broadcast Kingston's video with, you know, what she's now claiming is revenge porn. She also shared Carissa's My Free Cams page, which is completely irrelevant. You know, you don't need to show that to tell the story of it, right? It was blurred. It was blurred a bit better, but like, you know, Stardust has also shown stuff that's in excess to even in Kingston's video, which is just kind of embarrassing. It's just kind of embarrassing. Now, listen, my Discord stream showed it. I didn't show it personally. It's not really that relevant or of interest to me, but it's just kind of funny that, like, you know, Stardust has also like broadcast some of this stuff too.
What I'm doing here is I'm not going to play Kingston's video itself for reasons, but I'm going to list everything that happens, everything he claims, etc., and then we're going to summarize it at the end. So basically what happens is Kingston and Carissa start talking after Hunter had a debate with Kingston. Carissa seemed interested in Kingston after he's mentioned he's been working in the adult industry for 15 years. Kingston claimed that it led to them talking in a sexually intimate way with each other in what seemed like a pretty quick time frame. He says, she would send me nudes all the time. Do I look good enough to have an OnlyFans, etc.? And he says that he would coach her. He said that Carissa bought tickets to fly out that weekend that he released the video, the 15th, so they could make it physical. Kingston claims that he got a message from someone saying that, hey, someone from that side said some things, and just letting you know, this is what's being said about you. He doesn't elaborate who sent him a message, what was detailed in the message, and what was being said about him. He mentions that Carissa ghosted him after he received this message, and he says that Carissa and him talking had to be discreet because she was still married to Hunter, and he implies that Hunter doesn't know. He mentions the Destiny rumor that Carissa told him for some reason and uses that to say, hey, maybe someone snitched on her and is using it against her, and I bet this motherfucker did say what they said they said. Kingston says if someone is talking about you, you should reveal everything, all logs and all receipts. And I will just say here, all of this messages that I could see that Kingston released were from May 23rd and May 24th. Kingston says Carissa and Hunter are putting up a front, and what really happened was she just wants to fuck mad dick. He also says that Carissa and him bonded over wanting to be promiscuous. He says that Hunter is super vanilla, has performance issues, and that Carissa wanted to go to swinger clubs, but Hunter wasn't sure, and that Hunter announced too early that they were breaking up. He says, this still wouldn't have been nobody else's business if y'all hadn't felt like you needed to dirty my name and shit for whatever reason. Oh, whoops. Says that Carissa is lying to her husband about
Wait, hang on a
him.
sec. I feel like in this.
This still wouldn't have been nobody else's business if y'all hadn't felt like you needed to dirty my name and shit for whatever reason.
It feels like she's kind of like saying things that like, oh, Kingston claims this, but then I feel like some of the stuff that she's saying Kingston claims is like explicit in the DMs. But anyway, let's just continue on. I need to get through this.
Says that Carissa is lying to her husband about him, was probably telling her husband that this was a girlfriend giving her advice when she was supposed to be jumping on a flight to come get some dick. He posits another hypothesis that completely contradicts that one and says, she told Hunter about me and that Hunter told Carissa to ghost him or there would be problems, and then Hunter went and talked to his audience about him.
I don't remember this bit of the video. But if hang on a sec, if Hunter went and talked to his audience about him, then surely there'd be some evidence of that, like with him doing that, right?
For some reason, after positing those two hypotheses, he says, the other day she asked him, how can I make 5K real quick? She mentioned someone contacted her and was willing to pay 7 to 8K for a gangbang video, was willing to be peed on, etc., and if Kingston could set it up. Kingston says in the video, and I quote, "We're supposed to be fucking, but now I gotta go recruit 5 other N-words." Kingston says they dropped that after they thought that the buyer wasn't good for the money. After that story, he says that Hunter has performance issues, takes too long to finish, can't take care of the kids, and that Kingston doesn't blame Carissa for wanting to leave. And I believe he does say that N-word. And then he again contradicts himself and says maybe he doesn't even know, and says that her phone is silenced a lot and that Hunter probably doesn't even know.
Oh, I can imagine Kingston isn't going to be happy with this. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The bull is not going to be pleased. The bull is not going to be pleased with the way his video is getting represented.
So he, he puts a lot of messages here, right? And you can see they're all dated the 24th and 23rd, usually. And I didn't really feel the need to go through and screenshot every single message that came out.
Thank you. I like how forward you are with me. I appreciate that. New topic. It's sexy. Yes, sir. Tell me what your sex life would look like if you had complete freedom to do what and try whatever you wanted to. No pandering. Give me your most honest answer. I think I would start with fucking you. I know that you'd be kind, but also give constructive feedback or something, I think she says. Then I would want to fuck the Australian guy because he's fat and funny. Who is that? You want to learn to be better sexually? Yes. I tried to ride a dildo on a chair and my quads were burning after like 3 minutes. Lol.
Out of that video, because by this point, you guys have already watched some streamers somewhere cover it, right? So there's no point in going over that. But basically what I'm going to do here is we're going to summarize Kingston's claims. And the claims that I specifically have, after speaking to a source close to the issue, really I've spoken to 2 sources on both sides of the issue, things that I think I can present to you that contradict this. So, Kingston's claims. Carissa and Kingston, Kingston claims that Carissa and Kingston had a very sexually intimate relationship pretty quickly, that Hunter didn't know about any of it, that Hunter wasn't okay with Carissa exploring her sexuality. He also claims that someone mentioned Kingston to say that someone had been talking shit about him, but gives no details and is super vague about who someone is. And throughout that video, he implies that it could be Carissa and Hunter in the video at different points. So he's very, very vague about it. He also claims that Carissa was supposed to fly out to meet Kingston in Houston to make things physical. Or as he also said in the video, get some dick. Let me get some water, sorry. That is close to this conflict. I was given these. These are the first screenshots. The first private message, essentially, between King and Carissa. It starts off, King reaches out to her.
Unbanned.
He says, I want to test your claim about how you described yourself. I mean, it's super awesome if that's who you are, but it's just super hard to believe that given who you married. Are you comfortable having the same convo/debate I had with him about transgenderism? I think DM works better just because I hate having to write 3 messages to get out 1 response. Also, I don't know how comfortable you'd be disagreeing with dude on your timeline. Don't want to start any drama at home. She responds, LOL, I'd be happy to talk with you about transgenderism. I'd also be happy to talk to you.
Guys, listen, I'm sorry, guys. I'm desperate, okay? I need these downloads. I'm sorry, guys. I need these downloads real bad.
Over voice chat if you'd rather. Kingston says, whatever is more convenient for you, I'm comfortable with. Carissa says, let's talk over voice chat. My thumbs get lazy sometimes. Lamau, do you have Discord? And he says, yeah. What's your name on there? I'll add you. So, Hunter was always looped in, is the first thing I'm going to say. Kingston, or wait, no, sorry. Sorry, I made the wrong point. So, okay, yeah. So this shows that, you know, yeah, they did start talking about the debate initially.
What?
And that's how the conversation got started. Okay. Next part, Kingston and Carissa's convo started professionally. They started talking around May 1st. I don't know when the date of the debate was, because I'm lazy and I don't want to look up when the date of the debate was between Kingston and Hunter. But approximately, according to both sources that I've spoken to, they started talking around May 1st. Contrary to what seems to be claimed in the video, or what seems to be implied.
I haven't watched like Stardust content for a little while. Is this normally what it's like? That's kind of crazy, man. I didn't realize it was like this. Listen, public speaking is not for everyone, but like to be a streamer when your public speaking is this bad is crazy, man.
At least in a video, things didn't really start to be sexually intimate for a while. It seemed that things started pretty professionally. Yes, they were like sexual in a sense because they were talking about the online sex business or whatever. But essentially, it started off pretty professional. And I see that there are questions in the chat. You can send me questions after I'm finished with the presentation. I'll be happy to answer any of them. I would really appreciate, if you guys submitted them via super chat, but you know, I'll take anything. Okay, so,
yeah, we saw this already, yeah.
So you can see that they started pretty professionally. Kingston says here, I'd walk you through everything, show you the right way to make your profiles so they stay private. Have you start slow building up your content.
No way.
Eventually you connect with one of my girls.
She's got to be joking, right? There's no way she only made $15 from this. This is like a massive, like she promoted this as like having the both sides of the story and stuff. There's no way she only made $15.
That's very successful, so she can put you in front of her audience. I'd expect you to run a decision like this by him. My advice is just to dabble a bit first, make sure it's for you, and then run by him. You don't want it being on his mind if you decide it's not even for you, and just send a couple of full body nudes. I'll give you my honest opinion.
Oh my god, Kingston, the Rizzler. Yeah, I can help you with your OnlyFans. Just send me some nudes. God, this guy is such a fucking sleazy fucker. It's unbelievable.
And he says, that's every girl's initial fear, and a big thing I would do to alleviate that is show them the biggest steps they can take to keep their side hustle private as long as they want to. This is also acknowledging from Kingston that Carissa's OnlyFans business was meant to be anonymous, meant to remain anonymous. He knew that.
You cannot do an anonymous OnlyFans account if your face is in it. That is ridiculous. That is so insane. I feel like the world's gone mad. How can it be anonymous if your fucking face is in the porn? What the fuck? Like, if you want, you can do it, but you need to cover your face. Or, I'm told on Pornhub, for example, I'm told on Pornhub, for example, that there's certain ones where they like shoot porn, but you don't ever see the face. They just have the body in the porn. Like, you can do it, but you can't have your face in porn and call it fucking anonymous.
He was well aware that she wanted this to be separate from the rest of her life. Biggest thing is to create a unique stage name and tell it to no one. There's so much porn online, no one is finding yours on accident. If it leaks, it's always because the girl told her friends or tried to sell locally. So as you can see, it seems like Kingston is giving genuine advice in the beginning. My next thing that I would say contradicts Kingston, what Kingston implied in the video, is that Hunter was always looped in. Carissa would often talk about running things by Hunter, and Kingston would acknowledge it and encourage it. Kingston even talked more like a friend giving advice. So he says here, get all the way comfortable with being nude and knowing that no one's body is flawless. You are sexy and a ton of guys want to fuck you. Let that feed your ego and let that ego feed your ability to put on a show. So even though King is saying here,
thank you, appreciate
you
it.
are sexy and a ton of guys want to fuck you. She says, LOL sounds good to me. I do want to make sure Hunter is chill with it before sending nudes because we do.
Hunter was always looped in. How do we know that though? How do we know that Hunter was looped in? This is her saying that. But it's based on later messages. It seems like Hunter didn't know at all. Unless it's just about the OnlyFans stuff. Maybe the OnlyFans stuff he was looped in on? Why are you assuming he isn't? No, I'm not going to stop pausing. Fuck off. Shut the fuck up. Go and watch the original video if you don't want my commentary, okay? I'm just assuming that because there's a message that was sent on the 20th when she said she wanted an open relationship, right? I'll show you the message now. So the idea that Hunter was always looped in, like it may be on the OnlyFans stuff, possibly. This message here, wait, where is it? Look, 20th of May. I think I want an open marriage. I keep trying to push it in that direction a bit, but there seems to be a lot of resistance. I think I need to get him around women. I need to get him around other women. I think the guilt comes in that I think I've committed to something I'm not entirely certain I'm happy maintaining. Like, it's pretty clear, this and based on other messages too, that like Hunter didn't know the extent of it at least. Anyway.
Do try to be very honest with each other, and I'd rather him come around to the idea before showing much to anyone. He's not controlling at all, so I want to respect him enough to let him sit with the idea of other people seeing me nude. He replies, I'm cool with that. Him knowing about work stuff makes perfect sense. Just keep the personal conversations we have to yourself. I'll have you use my affiliate link, so if you're super successful OnlyFans, will reward me too. But my real payment is that I like to talk to you. And that's only fun for me if I feel like we're able to be 100% open with each other the way it was last night. It feels like everything I say to you makes it back to him. Oh, sorry. If it feels like everything I say to you makes it back to him, that will ruin it. You okay with that? Me asking you to separate work from personal and never have anyone from your side in our personal conversations. There's even this, Lamau, I took this like a few weeks ago, but it gets the point across. Could Hunter take pictures for it as well and be somewhat involved behind the scenes, or is that discouraged? He replies, girls bring their guy in all the time. Having a dick to sit on is super helpful. Even just having someone who can take pictures is helpful. But at the start, I think it needs to be just you. Get yourself comfortable with every part of this before you being in any other personalities. This is your venture, not his. When he comes in, let him be entering something you've already figured out. More evidence that Hunter was looped in. They're talking about a new name here. Kingston says, oh yeah, I like the name, find a last name to add to it though.
Also, this is why is Stardust fucking making such a big claim on the basis of this evidence? Like, all this does, what's the evidence Adam was looped into this? It's based on their conversation, right? And also, all this does is defend Hunter, basically, against this allegation that he's some sort of cuck. Like, all this is doing is defending Hunter. Why make this claim? I don't get it. It just seems like she just wants to defend Hunter.
May even sound nice shortened to Genevieve, or are you really married to that last syllable? She replies, sounds awesome. About the first part, thank you for your generosity. Hunter and I respect each other's privacy because of how we try to be honest and trust each other, so that works perfectly. I am a bit married to the last syllable for that because I feel like the V sound at the end of it.
Like, okay, one thing I think that could be true is like, Hunter was aware that she wanted to do OnlyFans because obviously he participated in one of the videos, right? But I don't know if we know for sure that Hunter was looped into the extent of the conversation because I think Carissa maybe, you know, like Hunter seemingly didn't mind if she was talking about business related topics, but Carissa's conversation with this Kingston guy were like very sexual. So I don't know. I don't know if I agree with this idea that like Hunter was always looped in. That just seems like a complete cope to me.
Adds a lot, but I'm totally down for another name if it might be too complicated. She also mentions Hunter here. Hunter and I tried to film our first video, and he took pictures too. And it seems that Kingston reacted with a heart here. So Hunter was always looped in. And
What?
Kingston himself knew that Hunter was always looped in.
How could she fucking claim that? What? This is them talking about that fact. Where's the evidence that Hunter was looped in on the other side? What?
The Houston trip. As you recall, in the Houston trip, when Kingston is talking about the Houston trip in his video, he says that she was supposed to fly down to Houston to make things physical with him, or to get some dick. Hunter knew about the Houston trip, and Carissa even wanted to bring him along. The Houston trip was not for Kingston and Carissa to make things physical, according to these. Carissa says,
How do we know that Hunter knew about the Houston trip? What?
Gotcha. Should I say in any
What's that
specific
based
spot
on?
in terms of hotels? I'm not sure how large Houston is. Also, just to double check if it's cool that Hunter comes along. Houston is the 4th largest city in the country.
Okay, this is Cope from Sizzling Wall. I don't know what he says in this debate later, but Hunter's not spoken okay with how he was okay with sexting. He initially claimed that any messages of a sexual interest occurred after the split had happened. Like, Hunter has not at all fucking said that he was okay with sexting. He's done everything he can to say that happened after the marriage had ended. Such Cope, man.
I usually try to pick the room that will look the best in videos. I don't mind him coming, but he doesn't have to. I'm not going to try to fuck you. I'm not going to try to fuck you. LOL. He says this. Kingston says this. I'm not going to try to fuck you. LOL. When I'm in business mode, I want to get as much work done as possible. I'll have you bring multiple outfits, and we'll shoot a couple of hours worth and do a full photo shoot. Okay, perfect. Thank you. You always want to leave with enough content that you can put out
retards
a
are getting
video
timed
right
out.
away.
Banned.
Then wait a while and put out another. Draw it out a bit. Almighty Pork Chop, I'm not. I'm implying the exact opposite. So,
Shoot a couple of hours and do a full photo shoot. Okay, perfect. Thank you. There's on the 17th of the 5th. You always want to leave with enough content. But wait, hang on a second. Wait a second. I thought that the flight situation was like later. Did something not happen later as well that was physical? So this is the 17th of the 5th. This is like earlier. Then on the 23rd and 24th, they had like a much more sexual conversation. And then wasn't it after that they were going to fuck? I mean, I don't know for sure, but these messages seem like earlier, and maybe at this point he was thinking more along the lines of OnlyFans, photo shoot, stuff like that.
Hunter was involved. Carissa continually looped Hunter in, and even tried to make sure that Hunter was.
How do we know that? What are we basing that on? Has she got some proof that the messages between Carissa and Hunter that show that? Where is this coming from? Okay. Does she show evidence later of this? Am I pause-andying it?
Basically involved in most parts of it.
So yeah, my understanding of it is maybe earlier there were conversations purely about OnlyFans, but then the conversation developed in a sexual nature. There's a message on like the 24th of May where the two of them were like explicitly sexting, and my understanding is after that they then wanted to fuck, and so a meeting that would have occurred after that would have also included a physical aspect. Am I missing something?
It looked like Kingston caught feelings. And just
What?
so you guys know, this is like the
Yo!
17th of May. Kingston caught feelings. He says, for me, it's just that I hate feeling like you process every sexual decision through, will it anger my husband? I know that's how you're taught to operate, but from my perspective, it makes me feel like you're not an individual human. Like I'm somehow flirting with Hunter instead of you. Just so we're on the same page, you've outgrown Hunter, and I can tell you don't really want to go backwards in life. But you don't get to be fickle with me. If you're not 100% sure that we're working towards a strategic exit, let me know. Or tell me now.
What?
If you are, I want you fucking multiple people. Well, it's not something he ever needs to know about, even after the breakup. I want that bridge so burnt that you can never get weak emotionally and try to cross it again. Deal? Deal.
Stardust is honestly one of the most retarded content creators I know, man. Why the fuck would you anger the bull like this with total fucking bullshit, which has got no basis in any messages or anything we've seen so far? This just seems like a narrative that benefits Carissa and Hunter. No wonder Kingston is popping off. No wonder Kingston is popping the fuck off on Twitter about this now, because she's just like straight up making shit up on the basis of very limited information. What?
Tar, is this new information, would you say exclusive content? It is exclusive content. Almighty Pork Chop, there was nothing physical that happened between Carissa and Kingston whatsoever. Nothing physical happened between Carissa and Kingston whatsoever. The only things that happened were text messages, and that was their boundary. Hunter and Carissa's boundary was text message. Hunter was involved. They made the decision to do the OnlyFans together, and he would help her out, and Carissa would while getting advice from this guy.
Apparently Stardust is like, you know, bear in mind, Stardust watched Kingston's video originally on stream. Like, she perpetuated what she is now claiming is revenge porn. Dude, what the actual fuck? This is nuts, man.
I didn't involve Hunter in any way he could.
This is terrible coverage,
continued,
man.
Things that I think show that Kingston caught feelings for Carissa. June 2nd, he tweeted, "My dream girlfriend. Loves my girlfriend. Wants to date."
Yeah, by the way, this new narrative that, oh, Hunter was okay with the sexting, okay? Hunter, up until this point, has done everything he can to either claim the sexual messages happened after they announced the divorce, and then he changed it to blur the lines and say that he was okay with Carissa doing like an OnlyFans thing and doing stuff for the business of the OnlyFans, right? And now if he's changed again, that's a change to the narrative again to say that he's okay with the sexting. Obviously, I need to look and see what he says about it, if that indeed does claim that. But up until this point, without him coming on stream, his claim has been either initially that the sexting happened or this message of sexual interest happened after the announcement of divorce. When that's been proven to be false, he said, he blurred it and said, well, I was okay with OnlyFans and business messages. You know, nothing physical happened. But then he also stated in another tweet later that the messages of sexual interest still happened after the divorce. So, you know, there's been a lot of cope about this, and if Hunter had just come out honestly in the first place, we wouldn't have this confusion, but we'll see what happens.
Both of us, in the same industry. Sense of humor, great conversation, team first mentality, energetic, optimistic. Yeah, I think me and wifey are ready for another serious girlfriend.
How is this... is she really going to claim this as proof that he catched feelings? Dude, this is fucking absurd. The reach on this is out of control.
June 13th. Kingston tweets, "The bad part is I kind of like that hoe." Another
Thank you for level 5.
That show Kingston probably caught feelings for Carissa. Even though it sucks, pimps and hoes are humans, even though we try not to be. I fall in love so hard, so damn often. Carissa replies, "You do." Kingston says, "Even with you. Our first convo went so well, and I liked your personality so much, I was giving way too much without demanding anything in return. I had to catch myself." Carissa says, "Fuck. Well, thank you, I think. Ha ha ha." Kingston says, "It's a compliment. You're a likable girl. If I was a square, I'd be trying to date."
Yeah, I'm sure the sleazy pimp who is trying to fucking organize, who's happy and willing to organize piss orgy gangbangs. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a heart of gold and he would just love the wrong woman. I'm sure he just fell in love with her. What is this fucking take, man? This is out of control cope. Dude, why the fuck are we acting like Kingston is fucking falling in love with Carissa when clearly he's just trying to, you know, set her up with some porno thing and wanting to fuck her and cream pie her? Like, come on, man.
You're the type of I could see being a great girlfriend. But until you're fully on this side of the fence, you're not even eligible for that type of consideration. Sometimes rules are there to keep us from harming our own interest. And rule number 1, do not ever catch feelings for a trick. No matter how real you think it is, he knows how he met you. He knows what you are. Yeah, this looks super manipulative, yeah.
This is just pimp game. This is pimp Riz.
Carissa was initially resistant to Kingston's advances. Kingston would be...
Oh my god, what the fuck? This is such... The cope narrative is out of control. This is just a fucking... Okay, I can see it now quite clearly. This is just pushing Carissa and Hunter's narrative to shit on Kingston. This is essentially a hit piece on Kingston. Like, it just is. It just is. Everything she's saying is just to negatively impact Kingston, and all the narratives she's perpetuating just purely support Carissa and Hunter in all of this.
Flirty with Carissa, and Carissa was not really receptive to his advances to begin with. They started talking May 1st, I believe. It wasn't until the 15th of May that Kingston confronted Carissa that things became sexually intimate. At this point, she gives in, the source said, because she felt like it was part of the business, and Hunter and her boundary was physical anyways. And it stands to reason, if Hunter and Carissa agreed to do an OnlyFans together, that doing an OnlyFans would necessarily involve texting and sexting. So he would have to be okay with that.
Okay, there's a big difference between Carissa in managing her OnlyFans, having sexualized conversations with people to get them on OnlyFans to buy nudes, versus having like what seemed to be purely sexual pleasure sex with Kingston on the 24th of May. Like, how the fuck is telling Kingston on the 24th of May, you know, I want to ride you, I want to get cream pied? How the fuck is that helping the OnlyFans out? This is such cope narrative that exists solely to benefit Hunter and Carissa's side of the story. Dude, this is terrible.
If it was just them doing this, all good. It was the leaking everything and trying to present it as if it was something it seems not to have been.
Oh my god, it's so obvious. Oh god, it's so obvious, right? She's trying to see how the medicine's going down. Can you see that? Like, obviously, you're going to interact with your chat and have a conversation with your chat, right? Like, that's fine. You're going to look at chat and stuff like that. Like, look at the way she's like, okay, how's this? Is this, okay, what do people think about this one? Like, I don't know. It's like she's trying to check how the medicine's going down. Okay, can you explain? Okay, I don't know why there's so much fucking dead air. Can you explain this to me? This message on the 24th of May from Carissa to Kingston, I love your dick, I want it in me so fucking badly. What benefit does this give to the OnlyFans? How is this a business message? I call this business casual, okay? How is this a business message? What about this is helping the OnlyFans thing? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It makes literally no sense whatsoever. Over Discord as well. Over Discord.
You're either a hoe or you're not. Sometimes I
over Discord and messages directly to fucking to Kingston's mobile.
Buttons just to see if you've accepted that part yet, and it doesn't feel like you fully have. I enjoy teaching you how to hoe the right way, but only if you're accepting of what this is. What specifically made you feel like I haven't? Can I ask you to be upfront when there's something you're concerned about? I won't be offended. I'd just rather know so I can fix it. Kingston says at times you don't feel as submissive as you should. I like that you're rebellious. It's adorable to me, but this shit is like the army. You only get to be so rebellious before you're no longer a good soldier. I will never be more upfront than you are. You dictate those types of things when it comes to me. I am always matching energy. I just think that you have internal conflicts that you should be past at this point. She sends question marks. He says, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is not being honest about what this is and the role in it. It's the same mistake I made for years. She says, oh, is this about the exploitation convo? You feel like I'm lying to myself, that I'm not part of a larger exploitative system? Kingston replies, no, it's about you being scared anytime I want you to entertain me sexually.
Bug, my lad. My compatriots.
Again, questions will be answered after I'm finished with this presentation.
Oh my god! She is literally just pushing the Carissa Hunter narrative. It is insane. Let me show you, and I've done this already, but I'll do it again now, because obviously Stardust clearly is just trying to hardcore help the fucking Hunter narrative. So she's saying here, Carissa was initially resistant to Kingston's advances, okay? And she is using this message here to demonstrate that, because he's saying, no, it's about you being scared anytime I want you to entertain me sexually, okay? Look at what happens next. This is the further context of that message, okay? So you can see here, no, it's about you being scared anytime I want you to entertain me sexually. That's being used to push the narrative that she was resistant. But literally, in the next messages, she says, oh, does this help? And she sends a video of her, the blowjob video. She sends the fucking blowjob video. This is a fucking hit piece. This is a fucking hit piece against Kingston. She sends the next couple of messages a fucking blowjob video to Kingston, and this is now being used to push a narrative that Carissa was initially resistant to Kingston advances. How the fuck is Carissa sending a blowjob video to Kingston literally within a fucking minute of this, and we're trying to claim that she was resistant to Kingston's advances? Such fucking cope, man. So fucking slimy. It's unreal. This is fucking gross. It's a fucking hatchet job. It's a fucking hatchet job, guys. The fixers are in. It's a fucking hatchet job. How am I doing a puff piece for the pimp, exactly? Explain that to me. I've already taken the L and said I was too defensive in my initial coverage of him because at that time, the video was still up and they were trying to paint him as this kind of like pernicious quasi-sex pest, right? I've already taken the L and I've walked that back a bit and I've said, yeah, I actually think that like he was wrong to release as much as he did and he probably did it off of like bad insight that some crazy shit was going to happen, okay? And it was excessive and he didn't blow it out enough and stuff like that. So I've already taken the L on that, okay? However, this is just, at this point, is just blatantly trying to push and perpetuate Carissa and Hunter's narrative. Because this is exactly the narrative that Carissa tried to present in her messages. In fact, I can show that to you as well. In fact, I can show that to you too right now. Let me show you. So Carissa tried to present this narrative. Look. So this is her story about it on Twitter. I think the account got deleted and then it got reinstated, okay? This is exactly the narrative that Carissa's trying to perpetuate. Eventually, Kingston felt like he was imparting a lot of insights to me for little in return and asked me to engage with him to a greater degree sexually. He mistook my compliance as genuine interest, okay? And she even shared this screenshot, which is not, I mean, obviously the message has been blanked out, but if you notice, this is the same screenshot that Stardust is now using. It's the same series of messages that Stardust is now using to perpetuate exactly the same narrative that Carissa was trying to perpetuate. Despite the fact that with additional context, we see that just after this message was sent, Carissa sent a blowjob video to Kingston. So how are you going to claim that Carissa was initially resistant to Kingston's advances when just after she sent a blowjob video to him, and on top of that as well, Stardust is just using Carissa's story essentially, word for word, but not saying that she's doing that. Like, it's the same story. Dude. That's mental, man.
After I'm finished with this presentation. Hunter's response after the leak of the video. I think this is important. Hunter says, I deleted all my tweets because I didn't need to contribute to the fire or furthering of falsehoods. Here's the true chain of events. 1. Wife and I both agreed to do some OnlyFans shit together. This included her sending some photos and messages to people for the business. I genuinely don't see anything wrong with fucking my wife and making money while doing so. Only insecure betas think otherwise. 2. We set clear boundaries, which were no physical contact with other men. I remain the only man seen in the leaked OnlyFans content, and this boundary was never violated during the duration of our marriage. 3. Unrelated to the OnlyFans stuff, we formally agreed to separate after discussing the idea for the last year and a half. 4. Days later, I briefly announced it. 5. Carissa only expressed interest in other sexual endeavors after we had both agreed to separate and see other people. 6. Nobody left anyone for anyone else. If this happened, Carissa and I wouldn't have remained roommates and amicable throughout this process. 7. After legal action was threatened, the initial video spreading the falsehoods and rumors was deleted by the uploader. He has since acknowledged he misunderstood the situation. 8. Due to the fact the photos were meant to be anonymous and the video uploader attached a legal name to the blurred but still visible photos, this is legally revenge porn, as the intent of the video was to malign and harass. Plus, the sender of the photos had a reasonable expectation.
So, just to clarify to your question there, for anyone that doesn't realise, Kingston alluded to some sort of nebulous behind-the-scenes thing that was happening that made him put the video out. I'm kind of skeptical about that. I'd need to see evidence of that, but, you know, that is what Kingston claims.
Of privacy.
Okay. Any comments on this?
9. Despite the video being deleted, the damage has been done and all the evidence has been saved and handed over to law enforcement. And I do have to agree, again, the first upload that Kingston put was so badly censored that it has to qualify as revenge porn. There's no, it was so badly censored.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Stardust thinks revenge porn is bad, does she? Well, why did she fucking broadcast it then? Oh my god, this is unreal.
10. It's creepy how obsessed with my personal life y'all are. At the end of the day, this has taught me a valuable lesson about how quickly rumors can spread and how fast many people are willing to throw you under the bus. This has also taught me to be even more sparing with the people whom I trust. I know, regardless of my words, the uploader retracting his video, my ex-wife's account of how things contradicting the rumors, and the clear violation of law, people who hate me will continue to hate me. People will continue to tell me I'm in denial or that I'm coping because they're coming from an emotional place of hatred for me rather than a genuine respect for the truth. This is the final time I'll be engaging with this on Twitter. Thanks for reading. So yeah, the first time it was uploaded by Kingston, it literally had only really minor parts of the photos blurred, and then the rest of it was all visible. It was like, it wasn't even censored, you know? Yeah, pretty much the values were 0.1. Later on, he edited it, and he put...
Well, the version I watched, when it had 200 viewers, which then grew to have like 12,000 viewers, that was like censored badly, but it was still censored. You could still make out what it was. I mean, I personally just didn't broadcast any of it. Anything I broadcast in regards to it, I put a big black box over it because I just didn't want to have any issues or whatever with it, right? Because it was definitely not blurred enough, no matter which version. But yeah.
Like a full blur over the entire thing. But by that point, like everybody's seen it, you know? The pictures have been spread.
Yeah, bear in mind, Hunter is claiming here that Kingston took the video down for legal reasons. Whereas she knows that behind the scenes, Kingston has at least claimed that it was because she threatened to commit suicide. By the way, I've got some additional insight on that. Stardust has tweeted out more about the suicide thing. God, she's so fucking retarded. It's unbelievable. She has fucking screwed the pooch so bad on this and just doesn't want to admit it. God, she's such a fucking liar. Her original tweet about this was acting like she'd spoken to all sides, and at the very least acted like she was going to give a sort of all sides story on what was going on. Let me find it quickly. God, she is coping giga hard. Look at this. I'm going to read this to you, okay? Let me ask you, does this read to you as I think Kingston is a terrible person and I'm going to shit on him and defend Hunter and Carissa? Or does it read like, I'm going to give you a, you know, at least a sort of attempt at an unbiased read on the situation? Tonight, approximately 6:45 to 7 p.m., the Carissa Hunter Kingston story. Exclusive details from sources close to both sides of the conflict. Still organising everything. Link below. What does that read like to you? What does that read like to you? And now she's getting heat for a clear fucking hatchet job bullshit. She's now saying this. When I first started covering this drama, I was pretty critical of Hunter and Carissa, and I still have questions. But Kingston is by far one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever talked to, and it's clear he set out to ruin lives. Oh my god! It is fucking unreal! She's so shameless! Now she's getting pushback for a fucking hatchet job, pro-Hunter, pro-Carissa, anti-Kingston shit. And now she's like, oh, he's such a bad guy, isn't he? She's so full of shit, it's unbelievable. Wait, where's the tweet where she said, where does it say to kill themselves? Wait, she tweeted something out and said, where does it say in these messages, I'm going to kill myself? Didn't she? Has she deleted that? I'm sure I saw something of that, didn't I? Has anyone got a fucking archive of it? I should have showed it earlier. Oh, Log's got it. Fuck. She did, right? Has she deleted it? Did she delete it? Right, anyway, let's get back to the video for now.
Around. It is revenge porn. I think these two parts are pretty important here. Wife and I both agreed to do some OnlyFans shit together. This included her sending some photos and messages to people for the business. So he even says here that he's fine with the messages that she was sending to people. It stands to reason, again, people who have OnlyFans sometimes will sext their clients. And if he was fine with Carissa having an OnlyFans...
Yeah, on OnlyFans, that doesn't explain why she was heavily sexting fucking Kingston on Discord. What? What? Oh my god, this is such an insane fucking pro-Hunter fucking hatchet piece. It's unbelievable.
It stands to reason that he was fine with her sexting as well. I genuinely don't see anything wrong with fucking my wife and making money while doing so. Only insecure betas will think otherwise. 2, we set clear boundaries, which were no physical contact with other men. I remain the only man seen in the leaked OnlyFans content, and this boundary was never violated during the duration of our marriage.
Oh, she didn't delete it. My bad. Okay, I take it back. I retract the deletion claim. I just couldn't see it. I'm retarded. I instantly retract that. Where did she say, tweet this or I'm going to kill myself? Where? It's very fucking... Anyone that's got more than 2 brain cells to rub together can see this here. So bear in mind, she's kind of letting this... Well, unless she addresses it in a sec, we'll see. Maybe she criticizes it, we'll see. Okay? I'm genuinely considering killing myself, okay? Then later on in the conversation, yeah. He says, the feeling is mutual. Just promise not to do what you said you were considering. We can end on that. You owe me that much. So he's obviously referring back to her saying, I'm genuinely considering killing myself, right? She then says, you don't trust me, so why would it matter? If you trust me, tweet that there were miscommunications and you shouldn't have released the video, and I'll promise you. I.e., promise not to kill myself if you tweet out there were miscommunications and shouldn't have released the video. This is fucking clear as day. There's nothing you can lose from that. You can't bully me into doing things. You still haven't realised that I wouldn't die before I let myself be bullied. If you want me to do you a solid, just be honest and be nice about it, okay? And then here, if you look here, he sends the message and says, is that good enough? Do we have a deal? Yes, thank you. I promise I won't kill myself. Please don't think you bully me into that. Part of me hates myself for giving in, but I guess you not doing that is more important than my pride. This is explicit. This is fucking explicit reading the messages that... She is coming up with this deal where he tweets this out and then she's not going to kill herself after saying she was considering killing herself. God, Stardust is so fucking retarded. It's unbelievable. Where did she say, tweet this or I'm going to kill myself? Where? What? What the fuck? That's unbelievable. Are you neurodivergent? I tell her to promise not to kill herself, and she responds by saying, tweet that there were miscommunications and you should have released a video, and I promise you. Fuck off, you fucking lied. This is what you claim. When you threaten suicide if I don't take down the video and make a post saying there was a misunderstanding. God, Stardust is so stupid. It's unbelievable. I mean, I was going to say, how is she a content creator? How has she got a successful career as a content creator? And I'm like, well, she doesn't. So that explains a lot. But yeah, Jesus Christ, man. Unbelievable. Anyway, just wanted to show you that.
And I think a huge part of this a reason why people think that like Hunter was cheated on is because Kingston framed the Houston trip as if Carissa and him were meeting in Houston to make things physical, when that wasn't the case. The Houston meeting was meant for, I believe, Carissa to do things with another woman, and then Kingston started suggesting other things, and that ended up falling through. She never went to Texas.
We're missing out a big part of this, though. The 24th of May. And do you know what the funny thing as well about this is, right? She's saying that she's not showing the video for reasons, which is fine. There are versions of the video out there that exist that you can watch that are blocked now, but that's fine. I didn't show it in my coverage. But the video has got messages on the 24th of May that completely blow a lot of this narrative out of the water, where she is in, where, you know, Carissa is engaging in extremely, you know, excessive and pornographic sexts for no, like, meaningful reason. Like, there's no business reason to do it. She just seems to be doing it from a pleasurable perspective, which isn't really in the bounds of what Hunter is claiming he's okay with. But obviously, if you're going to defend Hunter, this is the kind of line you're going to run with.
My conclusions of this are, Hunter and Carissa were both involved in the OnlyFans decision. Hunter was always fine with Carissa messaging people sexually. Kingston was aware...
What?! Okay, this is just insane. The fixers are in. The fixers are in. I cannot believe this. This is mental. Look. The date of my divorce post was dated prior to the date of the messages where my ex expressed interest in sexual stuff. The divorce post dated on the 7th of June. This message, and I don't want to go over all the messages because it is a bit gratuitous. You know, I don't want to do that. But look, this on the 24th of May, before the divorce announcement, he's saying that the messages of sexual interest were after that. This was on the June the 18th. She's saying, I love your dick. I want it in me so fucking badly. So this is a new narrative now that is being perpetuated, that Hunter was always fine with Carissa messaging people sexually. Whereas up until this point, Hunter has claimed that messages of sexual interest occurred after the divorce announcement.
That Hunter was involved in this with Carissa. You can see that Kingston acknowledges Hunter's involvement. Carissa ghosted Kingston the 9th of June. And
we don't know that. We know that Carissa and Kingston talked about Hunter being aware of things, okay? But we don't know that happened. We don't know that Hunter was aware of the extent of it.
That I know because I spoke to a source close to it. And then Kingston caught feelings for Carissa and retaliated by releasing the video.
This is fucking insane. I cannot believe the hardcore fucking defense that is being engaged in for Hunter and Carissa is mental.
They said several times she was flying out to get some dick. Yeah, and that's just not true. This is the timeline that I made. Hunter and Kingston debate trans issues. May 1st, Carissa and Kingston link up over Twitter, exchange discords.
Oh my god! Wait, what? Why is she not talking about the fucking insane sexting that was occurring? Why is she not mentioning the absolutely insane sexting that was occurring on the 24th of May? This is insane! This has got... What is going on, man? This is mental!
Carissa and Kingston begin talking about the adult industry, and Carissa starts asking for advice. Carissa continuously always asks for ways Hunter could be involved. Kingston is flirtatious, but Carissa is resistant to advances. And then Kingston confronts Carissa on her not willing to be sexually intimate with him via messages. This happens around May 15th. May 17th, they planned the Texas trip. Carissa was going to do stuff with a girl, filmed for OnlyFans, asked if Hunter could come along on the trip to Texas. And this is further corroborated, I believe. There are some messages where they're talking about him hooking Carissa up with one of his girls. You think that the catching feelings was manipulation, Danny? Maybe.
That is the narrative
May
here
23rd,
is wild,
Kingston
man.
admits feelings. Texas trip falls through sometime after that.
What? Kingston admits feelings. What?
Hey.
Guys, I hate to do this. I'm going to be careful with what I show here, but I think it's blurred anyway. Yeah, it is. Look. So May 23rd, she's saying Kingston admit feelings, Texas trip falls through. For some reason, Stardust doesn't seem it prudent to reference these messages on the 24th of May, where there's very clear, explicit sexting going on. She's sending like a photo of she blurred the tip but not the face, a photo of her face with a breast in. You know, what's this bit here? God, this is unbelievable that I got to show this. Thank you. I like how forward you are with me. I appreciate that new topic. Yes, sir. Tell me what your sex life would look like if you had complete freedom to do and try whatever you want to. No pandering. Give me your most honest answer. I think I would start with fucking you. I know you'd be kind, but also give constructive criticism. I also want to do a cream pie gangbang. That's insanely hot to me. All of this, I won't show more because it is a bit gratuitous. All of this completely missing from Stardust narrative. Completely missing from Stardust timeline. So all of this is missed, and she says, May 23rd, Kingston admits feelings, Texas trip falls through, and then fast forwards to June 7th. For some reason, she's not mentioning these extremely gratuitous sexual messages on the 24th of May. Interesting. I wonder why that could be. I wonder why that might be.
June 7th, Hunter announces the divorce on Twitter. June 9th, Carissa ghosts Kingston. June 15th, Kingston releases the video that he released.
So yeah, it makes a lot more sense now as to why the bull has got his horns out. It makes more sense as to why the bull has got his horns out. He's fucking raging because Stardust has just completely fucked him. Like, she's presented this image that she's trying to do a both sides thing. But she is just completely perpetuating the Carissa Hunter narrative, which is then to just shit on Kingston as being this terrible person who is acting out of malice because he caught feelings, and to act like Carissa wasn't like a very willing participant into like some of the stuff that was going on. Jesus. Thank you for hitting level 5. Appreciate you. We're going to do it, guys.
I'm not making anybody out to be a victim, with the exception of Carissa having like revenge porn spread of her.
She's the victim now. Oh my god, this is unreal.
That definitely did happen. But you know, clearly everybody involved in this, they were adults, you know, and they thought that, you know, that they were all on the same page, but it didn't seem like that. You can answer this later.
Did Carissa try to set up a group activity with black dudes?
So yes, that's never been denied. So basically, I guess what happened is, according to the source I spoke to, somebody messaged Carissa offering the 7 to 8K for the group thing. They thought about setting it up, but then they decided against it, essentially. So it never really went anywhere beyond them talking about it that one time. Damn, we've got a lot of prudes in the chat. But yeah, it also still stands that Hunter is the only man who's been involved in Carissa's OnlyFans. So.
Jesus Christ. Also, do you know as well? Another thing that seems to be missing from this coverage is Carissa reaching out to Kingston to try and plan a 6-man fucking no holds barred potential piss play gangbang. Funnily enough, she's not mentioned in that part of the narrative either.
So if somebody sends intimate pictures to somebody in DMs that aren't meant to be shared with anybody, and that person shares those, there's like an expectation of privacy there, and somebody shares those, that is revenge porn. These are not photos that were on her OnlyFans, from what I understand.
Honestly, the framing of the narrative, missing out key details that make Carissa look bad. You know, acting like, oh, Hunter knew about it all along. Actually, he was fine with it all. The gigacope is out of control.
Didn't Carissa have sex with Kingston? Wasn't it agreed that she would only sex with clients? I don't think Kingston would count as one for.
Yes, true. Win press from House MD.
Clients. Carissa did sex with Kingston. There was no only clients specified with Hunter. It looks like.
Okay. This is fucking insane, man. I can't believe this. Hunter said here, wife and I both agreed to do some OnlyFans shit together. This included her sending some photos and messages to people for the business. Again, I'll ask you again. This message here, sent on the 24th of May. Again, I don't want to show off the messages, okay? I'm getting close, though. I love your dick. I want it in me so fucking badly. How is this a business message, precisely? Sent on Discord to Kingston. How exactly would you consider that a business message? Interesting. Looks like the narrative's starting to fall apart at the tiniest push, and you're having to make up complete unbelievable bullshit to keep it going.
It looks like Kingston, kept kind of making the moves, and so she just kind of went along with it, I guess. And she was also obviously a willing participant in it, right?
Wait, hang on. Wait.
Kingston, kept kind of making the moves, and so she just kind of went along with it, I guess. And she was also obviously a willing participant in it, right? I'm thinking that she probably thought that's how the industry works. So.
Okay. This is fucking insane narrative spinning. Oh, she just thought it was how the industry works. Yeah, the industry works in that you've got to send this guy messages on Discord, nudes, saying that you want to get fucked by him and saying you want to do a gangbang cream pie. Yeah, that's just how the porn industry works, guys. Totally reasonable that she would think that she had to do that, okay? I had no choice but to send him a message telling him I wanted to gangbang cream pie. There's no other way I could have conceived of to engage in the porn industry. Fucking hell.
But it was never specified who she could message. So
Yeah, so I think that Hunter has kind of kept it quite loose and to allow flexibility to the narrative his side, right? Because he's saying it's for business. That could mean a lot of things, okay? Oh, look, you're literally saying these same 3 points over and over. Yes, because I'm trying to show you how bullshit Stardust narrative is, right? Listen, you people, when you get proven wrong, you just complain that I'm saying the thing correctly in a way you don't like. I am 100% correct. I've done the most extensive, correct, accurate coverage of this, okay? I'll take a couple of L's in some of the things that I've said that I've reassessed on further information. Sure, I'll happily do that. But in terms of a broad perspective, okay, I've got the absolute best fucking perspective on all of this because I've spent so long covering it, okay? And now Stardust is here. And she's desperately trying to piece together the absolute bullshit narrative that Carissa and Hunter have presented. And she's doing it in a way that is, you know, to essentially shit on Kingston. Kingston deserves criticism, okay? Kingston has definitely done some fuck shit in this, okay? I'll take an L on having said something earlier where I was more defensive of him, okay? With all the information that I've got now, right? I would happily accept that Kingston deserves more criticism than I issued initially. But he doesn't deserve to be fucking sidelined as this like dude who was being pushy, trying to get sex shit going on, and that she was just, you know, complying because she thought that was how the sex industry works, when it's quite clear that she was, you know, engaging in the most fucking insane sexting with this guy that was totally unnecessary for the OnlyFans stuff.
I guess I understand, Stars, but in a court, the defense is going to be that she was willingly posting nudes online behind a paywall, Jay. And the message and the nudes that she sent to Kingston were private.
Wait.
Under paywall. I guess I understand, Stars, but in a court, the defense is going to be that she was willingly posting nudes online behind a paywall, Jay. And the
Wrong! That's not correct. Whilst I don't agree with the overall point that the revenge pool will be assessed on this, that is not true. She posted nudes onto a Twitter account that wasn't locked. She posted it to an open Twitter account that anyone could see, okay? Because when it was revealed, people were posting her at, and you could go and see she had full nudes, and she also had the blowjob video on there.
message and the nudes that she sent to Kingston were private under the expectation of privacy and were not even available via the paywall. So I would say that because there is the expectation of privacy there, that yes, that does qualify as revenge porn, especially given how terribly things were censored.
Also, the other thing as well is, again, she broadcast, maybe not this original video that I don't know that much about, if that happened, but she at least broadcast a video where there wasn't hard editing out of the nudes.
To begin with.
So she's perpetuating revenge porn herself, by this standard.
He did post her nudes, Creative Zero. I just didn't share them. He did post her nudes.
Am I crazy? Like, what nudes are we referring to there, I guess I would ask. Let's just keep going. Thanks for level 5.
I will... There's something I want to say, but I don't know if I can say it. Okay. The claim that Kingston made when he released the video, that he heard somebody was talking shit about him, I think is bullshit. I think he released the video because he was mad. And I think that claim that somebody was talking shit about him, I think he made it up to justify it. Really? He posted the news on YouTube? I saw the video and it was blurred. Creative.
Jesus Christ. Do you not think Kingston did revenge porn? I think that legally it might be considered revenge porn, but I don't think that Kingston, in releasing those sexts, I don't think he did it thinking, I'm going to release these nudes to embarrass her. I think he was thinking, I totally disagree with the narrative Stardust is presenting here. It seems more likely that he had heard something and was acting rashly, okay, and was like, oh shit, and kind of quickly got a video out about it without really adequately censoring or thinking about the totality of information he was releasing. But I do believe that he'd heard that something had happened to spook him that we're not privy to. I'd love to see evidence of that, but I am hopefully going to speak to Kingston at some point, and I can obviously challenge him and talk to him about the nature under which he released the video, maybe get some, answers or some evidence out of it.
Zero, I said this a few times before, but the first version of the video that he put up, it was not blurred nearly enough. It was like everything was visible except for one really small part, which were privates. And even though that was blurred, it was not blurred very well. The entire thing was visible. It wasn't until later that Kingston...
Wait, okay. Right. I'm going to make one final statement on this. I'm saying that legally it might be considered revenge porn, but I don't think that in his head he was thinking, I'm going to just release nudes to embarrass the person. That could still be revenge porn, possibly, but his intent was to get ahead of a story that he was worried was going to come out because something had spooked him, the evidence of which we haven't seen.
Went and uploaded or edited it and put a blur over the entire image.
Exactly, yeah. Let the courts decide the revenge porn. His intentions weren't just, I'm going to show her nudes. No.
I don't think this makes them look worse, honestly. I think
Oh.
this Kingston guy was purposely trying to misportray the situation. He was well aware that Hunter was involved, with the OnlyFans business, and decided to release a video that purposely misportrayed Hunter.
So it's possible that Hunter was aware of the OnlyFans, but I do not believe that Hunter was fully understanding of the extent of like the sexting that happened and stuff like that, right? I don't think that that is what he was aware of.
As somebody who's uninvolved,
Such
and
cope narrative,
wasn't
man.
taking part sexually and wasn't helping out with the OnlyFans and was uncomfortable with all of this when it wasn't the case.